Today we go back to Babcock Ranch Preserve, a sprawling biodiverse wetland and pine landscape, rich in wildlife, vital to Florida's water systems and ripe for immersive eco-adventures. So join us on our eco tour. Good morning. It's an absolutely beautiful day here in Florida. We're up early and the idea is to go to Babcock Ranch. We've been there before, probably the last time was 2 or 3 years ago, and it's a place that we both enjoy seeing and experiencing. So let me tell you a little bit about Babcock Ranch. In 1914, one Edward Babcock purchased a ranch, which he then renamed the Babcock Ranch, and it's a 91,000 acre ranch that specialised in cattle ranching, logging and agriculture at that time. It straddles 2 counties, Lee and Charlotte County, and as you can tell, it's absolutely massive. When his son took over, he expanded the range of ventures, and they included things like alligator farming. Anyway, roll on a few years and it got to about, I think it was 2006, and they sold the ranch to a company. I think it was Kitson and Partners, and Kitson and Partners then did a deal with the state to sell some of the land, in fact the vast majority of the land. I think it was about 77,000 acres, something like that, maybe a bit less. And they sold that to the state, creating the Babcock Preserve. And that's the part that we're going to go to. Right, we're all ready to go. Let's get in the car.
You look like a giant.
I know. I think the problem is you're a bit on the short side.
Yeah, but we're going to Babcock Ranch today. We've been there before, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get on our way.
Okay.
Continue on Rotunda Circle for 2 miles.
It's going to be 31 degrees today.
The temperature has gone up quite a bit.
Because when we were at Cape Canaveral it was about 25, which was ideal for going around there. I don't trust Steve with the Walla Walla Wallas. I'm much better. Walla 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 is going round in a loop. And we were just on the road that's going across. Taken by this huge truck. Oh, it's not that huge actually. So we're just coming up to the turning for Babcock Ranch.
And all the land, I think.
All the land, yeah, it's all Babcock Ranch.
Continue for 2 miles.
2 miles before we even get to where we are on this ranch. I want to sing that song, you know, Bad Cop, Bad Cop. I'm going to go, Babcock, Babcock, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? And I remember the woman saying last time we were here that they're not cowboys. You mustn't say cowboys. Is it cowmen? You have to say.
Yes.
Because we've just been watching. What have we been watching, Steve? Yellowstone on the TV, and you know, I just want to get on a horse. Never ridden a horse in my life, but it just makes you want to be a cowgirl. I used to have horse riding lessons.
Yeah.
Until one day the horse chucked her off.
Well, I complained profusely about Molly when she fell off the horse because I've been videoing up to about 2 seconds before she actually fell off, and her timing was well off. Another solar field on both sides.
On both sides, yeah.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right.
Tour check-in area.
Slide right, then your destination will be on the left.
Oh my god, we're in the car park, look.
So it wasn't that.
Yeah. So we've arrived at Babcock Ranch.
And despite the sat-nav saying at the last moment I'd actually gone the wrong way, I hadn't. I was going...
We found our way to the car park. I think you had
Yeah.
gone the wrong way, but we found our way to the car park.
So we're here. We're about 15 minutes or so earlier than we planned to be.
Yeah.
So we'll take a look
Little
around.
Look around. There's a shop and that, isn't there?
Yeah.
And when we come back, we're not going to have gator to eat, are we?
Yeah, I've had to do a deal with Joanne. Last time I took her for the delights of eating gator bites.
Yeah, they're like chicken nuggets, you know.
A bit like chicken nuggets.
I mean, you have to do it, you know, once in your life.
I am here on the understanding that she actually goes to
A restaurant.
which serves proper meals.
Yeah, those gator... Ugh, horrible. They weren't like chicken. Wasn't
No,
it?
they were.
Well, it was a bit like chicken, but no,
Yeah.
I just kept thinking... Stupid, really. I just kept thinking I'm eating an alligator. Which
very-
I was.
It was very similar to crocodile, I can tell you. And I had crocodile when I was in Botswana, so, you know.
Well, I didn't like them.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going to eat here. We're going to go to a restaurant.
And
We'll have a drink.
don't tell my doctor, but the restaurant we'll go to will be for red meat.
Yeah. I fancy... I haven't had a burger. I'm sure I haven't had a burger this holiday yet.
No, I had a burger, but I've over the years we've progressively cut out red meat from the diet.
Yeah, we eat a lot of
normally at
fish.
the doctor's insistence.
Fish or chicken, anyway.
But I do like having red meat on the odd occasion when I can get away with it, particularly when I'm in the States. So, I will probably have a steak.
We're off for some red meat.
Yes.
Not alligator meat.
Anyway, shall we go and check out this?
Yeah, let's go and check out the alligators.
And here we are at the car park. Exactly like last time, not very busy at all. We're going on a 90-minute narrated tour through 4 diverse ecosystems that make up this unique state-owned ranch. On our tour, we'll be taking in the various vegetation, animals and buildings that call this ranch their home, understanding more about them and the operations of a traditional Florida cattle ranch. The cost was $24 an adult, with $1 off for seniors. This is a very different tour, one where we have the opportunity to get up close with nature and the animals. This is made easier as the animals are incentivised to come near us. This is the 3rd time I've undertaken the tour. Whilst the core of it is the same, each time I get to see something different.
Now, folks, as we're out there today, and I'm driving along talking about the ranch and history, if I don't see something out there and you guys do, give me a shout. I'll stop the bus and make sure I get to enjoy it. I have only 2 rules on the bus. Number 1 rule, don't reach out and grab that bull by the horns. He's strong, easily hurt us. My only other rule, and I'm sorry young fella, there will be no alligator wrestling on the bus today.
We love how it gets us back to nature, gives us the opportunity to experience a different Florida and meet new people. Despite the phenomenal growth and change in Florida, Babcock Ranch continues to exist, much as it did when Edward Babcock first purchased it, thanks to the responsible stewardship of the Babcock family. I talked earlier about its sale to the Kitson developers and their subsequent sale of 75,000 acres to the state of Florida.
I know exactly what he's looking for. He's looking for baby alligators.
That's the number 2 predator, the baby alligator.
The ranch is now classified as a preserve. That means no commercial growth, such as condominiums or hotels. Instead, there's a focus on prohibiting activities that could damage the environment or disrupt wildlife. The preserve protects regionally important water resources, diverse natural habitats, scenic landscapes and historic and cultural resources in a very rapidly developing southwest Florida corridor.
Often you'll see the larger ones, they'll be out in that open water in the middle. You know, that's probably where that male alligator is right now, as we've been seeing a couple of female.
The preserve is a vital habitat for 13 endangered or threatened species. These include the crested caracara, the gopher tortoise, Florida burrowing owl, the Florida black bear, and the Florida panther. These are wild hogs, though they're not indigenous to Florida, even though they exist across the state and have been here for centuries. They're thought to have been introduced by the Spaniard Hernando de Soto as early as 1539. Here, public recreational opportunities abound, including hiking, wildlife viewing, bicycling, fishing, camping and horseback riding. It is also home to more common birds and animals, such as the Osceola subspecies of native wild turkey, found exclusively in Florida, the northern bobwhite, and populations of white-tailed deer, like we have here. So we're looking at a sable palm, which is otherwise known as the cabbage palm tree, Florida's state tree. You'll find it in nearly every part of the state. Just below the leaves is the heart of the palm. It's been eaten for generations in all sorts of dishes, such as salads and of course swamp cabbage. It's recommended to season well, using something like Everglades seasoning available in Walmart. Joanne also uses that seasoning at home. Edward Babcock entered the lumber business from an early age and was successful. He entered Philadelphia politics in 1911 and served as mayor of Pittsburgh for 4 years. He purchased the 91,000-acre Crescent D Ranch in 1914, primarily for hunting, renaming it to the Babcock Ranch. The ranch served as a base for the family's business, and up until 1940s it mainly produced lumber. After then, it was diverted into limestone quarrying, oil drilling, agriculture and cattle. His son Fred began managing the ranch in the 1930s, and he was a great advocate for traditional ranching. When the father, Edward, died in 1948, aged 84, the ranch passed over to Fred, who built his home Cypress Lodge here, becoming the only Babcock to actually live on the ranch on a full-time basis. The state leases the land on a 15-year lease to Tarpon Blue, one of the state's primary cattle farmers. It remains a working cattle farm and a working produce farm. It's quite incredible how much and how quickly the land changes. One moment you're in the open and then you're in Cedar Swamps. Before you know it, the landscape's changed again. Pine Flatwoods is about 50% of the land in Florida and is by far the biggest ecosystem. As the name implies, it's typically flat lands with sandy soils, and they depend on fire to replenish the nutrients and to keep the ecosystem healthy. The fire actually gets rid of some of the other species, such as oaks, that would otherwise dominate and drive out the pine trees. Here there are only two seasons, the wet season and the dry season. and we're currently in the dry season. The only water here is groundwater. There's no spring-fed water or tributaries. Cedar swamps are typically found in poorly drained depressions where standing water is present at least part of the year. They provide critical habitat for a variety of plant and animal species, including some that are rare or endangered, as well as playing an important role in flood control, water quality and wildlife conservation. The vehicle we are in was once a school bus, more at home on the tarmac than rural Florida. Let's just say that the ride over these various terrains can, on occasions, be a little bumpy. We are now at the remnants of a railway trestle, part of the railroad that ran through the ranch used to transport logs to market. It bridged over the spillway in a series of weirs which were designed to help manage floods and water preservation. These days it has been reclaimed by nature and home to a large amount of wildlife, particularly alligators. There's a lot less of the trestle these days than I can remember from previous times. This video doesn't do these Oscar turkeys justice. When the sun hits their dark feathers, particularly the wings, you get a really beautiful iridescent green, red and purple sheen. These turkeys are native to Florida. They're also known as the Florida wild turkeys. A logging winch, which I think has seen better days.
Killer alligator with me. He's a killer. He's vicious. He's hungry. They will ultimately wind up back at the alligator farms, where they become the breeding stock, because they've been handled every day. They are not aggressive animals when they're large. So when you're dealing with a large breeding animal, you don't want to get bit by him. We'll propel that alligator along in the water at 35 miles an hour, folks.
Wow.
Off the line.
Wow.
Now when you see an alligator get too hot, they open their mouth up and breathe off the heat, as that gullet below his throat is very vascular, and he's going to breathe through there and breathe off that heat. And then his feet are webbed, but they don't use their feet for swimming. That webbing helps to move them through the mud at the shoreline. Now, if you cannot run the length of this bus, you're going to have to trip the person next to you guys. And an alligator's an opportunist. He's going to come along for an easy meal. We're not on the menu, okay? Now that bite, though, that's 2,500 pounds per square inch. That damage is going to be done.
Alligator Bridge, a narrow single track spanning the lake where the alligators live. Our guide explained that it's only been relatively recently that health and safety caught up on the ranch, and the local kids no longer use this as a swimming hole. Wow, there's some big ones down there today. Apparently, this alligator lost his tail, eaten by another alligator in a dispute. movie Just Cause, starring Sean Connery and Lawrence Fishburne, was shot on the site, and one of the scenes was actually shot at this location. The plot required them to go down into the Storm Gully. What was not in the plot was the massive alligator that was down there, which scared the living daylights out of them. That brings about the end of our tour, and we're making our way back to the gift shop. When we parked up, our driver went down to let us out and found a Blair rat snake, which he brought back up to the cab to show us.
Non-venomous. Non-venomous. Now, they're very docile. Do you want to pet him? Well, we can put him in your hand like so.
Oh, he's so gorgeous.
You gotta go.
No, Joanne hasn't had a change of heart and gone for the Gators. Instead, the bus dropped us, not by the gift shop, but by the cafe. There's a nice little area here where, if you wanted to, I believe you can actually buy some plants, but the whole vibe is really nice, really well done, gives you really the impression that you're out there in rural Florida. So behind me is Miss Lulu, and Miss Lulu was a cow that was on the Babcock Ranch that had 3 horns. Anyway, they thought they'd create a new breed of cow called the Trichotara How, and she actually bred 18 offspring, but all of them were 2 horns, and all of them predeceased her. She lived for 24 years, which is about 168 cow years, or equivalent to human years, shall we say, if you did all the multiplication. Anyway, unsuccessful venture and a very unusual cow. To one side of the gift shop, the walkway goes up to a shack. That looks like a very interesting trap, and some lovely skulls adorning the porchway. It all adds to the atmosphere, doesn't it? So the shack behind is originally a prop that was used on the movie Just Cause, and then it was a hunting lodge, and now it's been repositioned as a museum. Really nice inside, some interesting facts about and interesting memorabilia from the ranch itself. So this is some memorabilia and photographs from the film Just Cause, produced by Warner Brothers, starring Sean Connery and Lawrence Fishburne, which was actually shot on this particular ranch. And then we have some of the teeth and insects that were found on the ranch itself. All of this is in a little museum, which is included in the cost, and it's really interesting to look around and to take in. It's now our last stop before we return to Punta Gorda, and we're in the gift shop, and it's full of the usual things that you would expect: t-shirts and hats and other items of clothing, some kitchen decor and some home decorations as well. The last time we were here, we bought baubles for our family tree, and we did the same this time. It's always nice to have a memento. The theming here is very much in line with a remote cabin vibe. Not to Disney standards, but it uses bits that were obviously found on the ranch. There's a canoe, which is up near the ceiling, and a bison head on one of the walls. And then outside you'll see the old stove, skulls and various other bits that have been found on the farm, and it makes a nice setting. Anyway, it's now time to get back to the car and back to Port Charlotte. Well folks, we've just completed our Babcock Eco Tour.
The thing I like about, one of the things I like about it is it's a morning or it's an afternoon. I think it's a bit cooler if you come in the morning, but we've seen hundreds, thousands of alligators. Excuse me, coughing. and so many wild boar, little piglets.
Yep.
I've stroked a snake
And an alligator.
and an alligator. Which
Deer.
are gorgeous. There's been deer. I haven't stroked the deer. Deer, birds, beautiful birds. Oh, it's just been amazing, hasn't it?
It's one of the reasons we come back here. I came probably about, I want to say 6 years ago. Then a couple of years later, I brought Joanne, and we enjoyed it. And that's why we've come back again. It's as
And
Joanne
we'll come back
says,
again in the future, probably.
And because it allows us to see a little bit of how Florida used to be.
Yeah, we met some very nice people there, didn't
Yeah.
we? Pam, Margot and John.
Yeah.
And
Who
they
were
live
from-
here. They live in
They
Florida.
were from Minnesota and living now in Sarasota. And they gave us some hints as to some places that we could go to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really nice afternoon or
Morning,
morning
yeah.
out. Loads of school kids actually. They
Well,
were-
only today. I
Yeah.
haven't seen them before. There's a school outing today on a bus, but they were very well behaved,
Yeah.
and they weren't allowed. They had to wait. They had to queue to go in the gift shop.
Only
Two
three
at a-
allowed.
Is it three or two or
Yeah.
three of them at a time?
Yeah. And
yeah.
the other thing is that the tour, I think this time was slightly shorter. We've obviously come slightly later, and it's not so much into the wet season, and therefore there was some.
Well, he did say the reason there is a boardwalk that you can go through to see the giant mother cypress tree.
Yeah.
But he said they weren't going to do it because it was so muddy.
Oh,
That's what he
okay.
said. You probably didn't hear that. Because it
No,
was
I
so
didn't.
muddy, he said you can go if you want to, but you're going to be in the mud. So,
And the talk is very much, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
which of the guides does it, it's the
Yeah.
same real discussion that we had last time, wasn't it? The same
Yeah,
points
yeah.
made. The animals, are free to roam around.
they found a snake, didn't they? One of the
Yeah.
other drivers found a snake and then he brought it on. It was cute. It was non-venomous, of course.
Yes.
And they always have a baby alligator on board, which,
Which we
I'm not-
enjoy.
Yeah, I enjoy. I don't know if that's quite not cruel or what, but anyway, they seem to.
That-
I think they released them back in the wild.
No, they
Oh, do they
won't.
not? I don't
No,
think they will.
they-
You don't,
no.
It's not going to go to gator food, is it?
It probably is going to
Oh,
go,
no.
but they
No.
won't tell you that. Because with the whole point with alligators is that you have to be scared of humans, and if you're touching them and feeding
that's
them,
very
then you're
true.
not going to be scared. Don't forget.
That's why you get fined if you go to stroke an alligator. Not that you'd be blooming stupid if you did, but you mustn't ever feed alligators or anything in Florida. You get fined a lot of money.
And if you actually interfere with a gopher tortoise, which there are quite a few around, then that's a $5,000 fine. If it's an alligator, I think it's a $5,000 fine, and they shoot the alligator.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to avoid.
Because it's got used to human food, and they can't have them being used to
and
humans.
used to humans, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, now I need to make good on my side of the bargain, which is to take my beloved wife out for some red meat.
Red meat. Certainly not.
A burger. So we're going to go
I'm going to have a burger today. Yeah.
Well, I'm probably going to have a steak.
I don't like steak, but I do like burgers.
So it will be off to our local Longhorn Steakhouse.
Yeah. Did you hear what he was saying about the trees with the white spots on?
Yeah, they show the quality.
Quality of the air. And I must admit, I could have breathed a lot better there. I didn't cough very much.
So could I.
So we've been in some good air today. Look at all these.
The journey back to Port Charlotte was really smooth, and you now join us at the Longhorn.
All right, what are we having today?
I'm going to go for the £half steakhouse.
you like it
too. Medium to well done.
Medium well, and what do you have? It's a little bit of pink. American, Swiss, cheddar, what do you like?
Cheddar.
And bacon or no bacon?
No bacon.
Soup, salad, or fries?
Fries.
All right, and I'll take that for you.
Lovely, thank you.
Right, and I just ordered a 7-pepper sirloin together with some fries, because I do like my red meat on the rare occasions I get it. One of the reasons that we absolutely love the Longhorn is because of the bread, which Joanne is tucking into with gusto.
I've got my burger. Look at it. Ooh, look at that. And fries. Lovely.
Good. And this is my sirloin steak with a salad and some chips. Looks really nice.